Thanks again for staying with us. It's the cut-up to Miss ITV Hot Legs Beauty Pageant and Fashion of the Runway 2019. Come Sunday, that's the grand finale. And of course, we have the CEO of Brightence International Electronics Company joining us as sponsor of the event, Dr. Brightence. Good morning. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much, Sonny.
So it's a delight to have you here. And thank you so much for this partnership and this support that we've enjoyed over the years, particularly this edition of the program.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's talk about Brightence Electrical Company. What are the product line from Brightence?
In Brightence Electronics Company, like I always say, it's a research establishment where we are into the production of, locally into the production of Brightence inverters, which are pure sine wave inverters, and Brightence alternator boosters, Brightence phase selectors, Brightence automatic changeovers, Brightence MPPT solar charge controllers, then Brightence inverter batteries. So many products coming in from Brightence Electronics. So just to mention a few. Okay.
This product, what is the level of certification that you have gotten in terms of quality, integrity, and standards?
Yes, the truth is, throughout the world, as a research establishment, every research company, they manufacture a product, they will take it to the market, watch customers' reaction on the product, go back to the drawing board, re-improve on the product, and bring another model out. So by the grace of God, all our product, almost all our product are now certified by Standard Organization of Nigeria. And the most recent certificate we just received is for the Brightence inverter batteries because of the quality, durability, and strength of the batteries.
What differentiates your inverters and solar charge controllers from others that are prevalent in the market?
Brightence Electronics Company, there are some things we deliberately installed or into our inverters that made them outstanding in the market. For example, the Brightence inverters are pure sine wave inverters. They are LED displaying pure sine wave inverters. They have double system thunderstorm resistant facilities, especially due to the Nigerian weather during the rainy season. Then they also have double system cooling fans, double system circuit breakers to protect the unit from any fire outbreak or short circuit problems. Then again, for the solar charge controller, the solar charge controller is the type that tracks the sun intensity at maximum point. So that means it can charge 12 volts, 24 volts, down up to 48 volts, up to 192 volt inverter battery system. And it does what we call power summary. So that means if you are not around, you can easily go to the charge controller to check a particular day to find out whether it worked on that day or not, or maybe due to so much rainfall, it was not able to charge so much energy from the sunlight. So I want to let you know that it has its own inbuilt thunderstorm facilities also. But as for the inverters, they can power your AC, your deep freezers, your refrigerators, depending on the kVA you are going for, including your boreholes.
So how would you differentiate the batteries and solar panels that you produce from those that are currently in the market? What is the striking difference that people should take note of?
Number one, as for the Brightence solar panel, is designed according to the Nigerian weather. There is something that most people don't know. Sometimes when you import solar panels from European country or Asian country, American country, as the case may be, mainly they are always designed according to their weather conditions. Except you are lucky or fortunate to find somebody who may go there and say, produce this panel for me according to Nigerian weather. That's the only way you will bring it here and enjoy it. For example, in Nigeria, let's take Nigeria as a case study. If you take a polycrystalline solar panel to the southern part of Nigeria, you will not get the maximum benefit from that panel. The reason being that a polycrystalline solar panel, they work based on sun intensity. But if you take that same panel to the northern part of Nigeria, it will work excellently well. So these are some of the things you must have in mind when you want to sell solar panels. So that's why when our customer is giving us calls that they are looking for solar panels, first thing we want to know is the region where you are in the country, so we can ascertain your climate conditions to know what panel is adequate and appropriate for you. Then two, the panels we do, they don't drag thunderstorms because thunder is a source of electricity. So if the panel is on the roof, don't forget we are on the surface of the earth, not in the hole. So that thunder lightning you see during rainy season is a source of electricity. So if the panel is original panel, it sees the thunder lightning as an abnormal source of power. So it will not transmit it, that it will not damage your electronics or your inverter. But if the panel is an inferior one, it will be dragging thunder lightning, and we know that most of our customers, they are not the owners of the residence where they may be living at a time. So it does not make sense to give them solar panel at the same time they are putting thunder arrestor everywhere, creating a house that is not theirs. It does not make sense. So we give you an original panel. You would not need thunderstorm arrestors. You don't have to re-air the house. You just install the panels and you start enjoying start having value for your money. Then as for the batteries, let me educate Nigerians something about batteries. You see, before our battery was approved by SON, one of the standing quality is it must be a dry cell battery. But because people are looking for something cheap and the harsh economic conditions of the country, people are not going in for wet cell battery. They will buy wet cell battery. Then you will discover that almost every inverter batteries are called deep cycle batteries. And they have what we call lead acid deep cycle batteries. Most of them are made with lead acid. So the issue now is, I want to speak from a medical point of view. I'm not talking now from the engineering as an inventor. I'm talking now as a doctor who is fully registered with the Nigerian Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. So I want to let you know that if you use wet cell battery, over a period of time, you will discover that the water level is dropping. Then you will need to be topping it with distilled water.
You do that by yourself?
Yes, the customer will do that. But we don't sell such batteries. The customer will do that by themselves. But the truth is, the fact that that water level is dropping shows that the batteries, there is an evaporation. Because the water level will not be dropping if it's not evaporating into the room or the environment where the battery is installed. So over a period of time, we all have different immune system and different level of tolerance. So if you start inhaling that lead acid, maybe evaporated, the problem of fumes or vapors into that environment, over time, you will see that person coming down with respiratory problems. It can be respiratory cancer, it can be lung cancer, it can be bronchitis. You can browse it with your phone. Go to Google. We are living in a jet age. Go to Google, type it on Google. Effect of lead acid poisoning. You will see it. It's there. So we keep telling people, sometimes because of cost implication, people want something cheap. They start going for things that
at the risk of their lives.
I'm telling you.
And then this is just highlighting what you would call the health and environmental effects of lead acid battery. That's the point you just highlighted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's just move on quickly and tell us something about the Brightence alternator booster, particularly as it relates to pressing iron. That seems to be something of interest to a lot of people out there. Tell us something about it.
Let me tell you guys, that's what you're looking at on the screen now. The Brightence alternator booster is what we are seeing on the screen. Now, let me say something about this booster. It's a circuit design in such a way that the aim is to prolong the shelf life of generators, so that when you are using your pressing iron on the generator, you see this dragging, adjusting sound that is being made by the generator. Each time you use what we call heat element electrical material, such as pressing iron, boiling ring, or ring boiler, as the case may be, each time you plug your pressing iron, your generator makes a dragging, adjusting sound. That means you are straining the bearing of that gen, the pistons, the alternator, the shaft of the generator. Over a period of time, the gen will be making more noise, wasting more fuel, eventually to pack up. You need to buy what they call half engines for generators. So if you don't want to buy half engine, especially in the harsh economic situation of the country, the Brightence alternator booster is a compulsory device for every dry cleaners, for every person who are into fashion designs or tailoring. It's a compulsory thing for every hotel dealers. The reason is, you see those big gen they use in the hotel, in the laundry services department, each time you are plugging that pressing iron in your laundry service department, because the generator is of a bigger kVA, you may not hear that gen makes a dragging sound like the smaller generators. But the truth is, each time you use this pressing iron in your laundry service department, the feedback effect must still go to that gen, no matter how the capacity, no matter how big. So if you don't want that generator to start giving you maintenance issues every time, you have to buy that Brightence alternator booster, so that when you are plugging the pressing iron on the gen, you are going to prolong the shelf life of the generators, whether you are a dry cleaner or a hotel dealer.
Just before we call it a wrap, Dr. Brightence, what structures do you have in place to impact this knowledge on people, and then as also an opportunity to empower students by way of training and stuff like that. And let us know your office address and your working schedule.
Okay, in Brightence Electronics Company, like you know, this whole thing is a God-given talent. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I trained from University of Benin. All these electrical things I'm doing now, they are just God-given talent because I'm an inventor. I'm not an engineer by profession, but I'm an electrical electronics inventor. So I believe that the knowledge passed from one generation to another cannot be lost. And that's the only way we can secure the futures of the growing and the young ones and the younger youths out there. So what we are doing now at Brightence Electronics, as part of our company corporate social responsibility, we are now going from secondary schools to secondary schools, teaching students how to reproduce, fabricate and assemble some of the products. From those in XS2 to XS3, we train them on how to reproduce this product. Then for those who are not in sciences or SS1, what we do is that we teach those ones how the installations are done with solar panels, with NEPA as source of charging the battery, with generators as source of charging the batteries. That's those who are not in the science classes. So that by the time they are done with secondary school, they can become done with their secondary school or WAEC or NECO as the case may be. They can become student entrepreneurs. Okay. They can become self-employed from there. Then from those who are in the university too, as part of our vocational studies and technical skill acquisition program, those people who are being sent to go for their industrial placement or industrial attachment can come to Brightence Electronics for practical skill acquisition programs. Then apart from that, for those who wants to learn how to build maybe the inverter, for example, we have to learn how to build the analog inverter first. Because if you don't know how to build the analog inverter on the very board, there's no way you can migrate to the PCB board, that's the printed circuit board for the pure sine wave. Okay. So you have to start from the foundation. The basic one is how to make the Brightest analog inverter or modified square wave inverters. So what we do is that for people who are paying for their wards, what we do is the inverter that will be built by the trainee must be taken back to the sponsor. So that inverter that person is going to build from scratch to finish is going to be the property of the candidate at the end of the program. Okay. So that whoever is responsible for the payment should know that this is what I can see physically
my hands,
built by the person I sent to Brightence Electronics. Okay. So as a way to confirm that this person can reproduce this product.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to reach us in Brightence Electronics Company, Brightence Electronics Company is located at number 30 Federal Government Girls College Road, number 30 Federal Government Girls College Road near UBTH in Ugbowo, Benin City. And we open our office on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday only from 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening, because we use Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday to either do production of product or installation of those already paid by other customers. Right. If you wish to give us a call, the phone number is already on the screen. You can search us on YouTube, type videos of Brightence, or like Brightence Electronics Company Facebook page, and you'll get further details.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Brightence Ogihoyi, the Chief Inventor at Brightence International Electronics.